Today we're talking about company car tax, and I'm joined by Geoff Don. And I understand, Geoff, that there are green initiatives that are now affecting company car tax.
Yes, that's correct. For many years we've had a tax regime which has taxed company cars by reference to how big an engine they had. Now we're looking at how much CO2 the cars pump out, and in tandem with that there are some important tax breaks that are there for people who have the right sort of car, and that can apply to both companies and to individuals.
So tell me about some of these initiatives, what they are.
Broadly, they fall into two groups, for the individual employee who has the benefit of a company car, and for the company. So for the individual, if they have a car of a certain sort, and that's one that produces carbon dioxide emissions of less than 99 grams a kilometre, then there's a special tax charge of 10%. So we simply multiply the market value of the car when new times 10%, and that is equal to the taxable benefit on the individual. For the company, and this is where it is really attractive at the moment, for the right sort of purchase, and by that I mean either hire purchase or an outright purchase, but not a finance lease, then the cost of a new car is immediately deductible for corporation tax purposes against profits. So you get a 100% write-off for the cost of the car. So it's very attractive for companies.
As you say, very attractive, but we're aware initiatives change all the time. How long are these likely to be around for?
The original initiative for a 100% deduction was due to be phased out at the end of March next year. That is going to increase, but at the moment it applies to cars which have CO2 emissions less than 110. So it's different for the individual rates. However, the scheme has been extended, but the CO2 emissions level has been tightened up further, so it will now apply to cars which emit CO2 emissions of less than 95 grams a kilometre.
Now, very quickly to finish off, what are the sort of things that individuals and companies can do to take advantage of these initiatives?
Well, as we're going to see roughly a 37% hike in the next 5 years in the tax charge that applies to individuals with company cars, it makes a lot more sense for them to focus on ever increasingly efficient CO2 cars, so they can have the same size car but it can produce less CO2 emissions, and therefore there will be less tax to pay. So fleet buyers need to look at the CO2 emissions of the vehicles they're buying, and manufacturers are working harder and harder to produce the sorts of cars which produce less CO2 and are better for the environment.
Well, thanks very much indeed, Geoff. That was absolutely fantastic. It gave us a lot of great information, and you can see more on the PDF on our website. In the meantime, thank you very much indeed, Geoff, and thank you for joining us. Bye for now.